So you believe Blake Lively wrestled control of the film?
I think she tried to, yes.
Did she succeed in the end?
The ruling just hit the desk, and the fallout is catastrophic for Blake Lively. A federal judge didn't just disagree with her, he dismantled her entire legal strategy in one clean sweep. 10 out of 13 claims were tossed out like yesterday's trash, leaving the Hollywood Golden Girl exposed and, according to insiders, absolutely livid. The narrative she spent months building has officially collapsed. This isn't just a legal setback. It is a total reputation reset that nobody saw coming. The silence from her camp is deafening, but the court documents are speaking loud and clear. Careers are on the line, and the judge just handed the momentum to the other side.
Is going to be this crew member.
That there was a massive compromise in terms of Justin's original vision for the film.
Halia Spencer was a storyboard.
It all centers on a woman named Talia Spencer, a storyboard artist who was in the room for every single major decision. She wasn't just a day player. She saw the breakdown of the production from start to finish. Spencer is now prepared to testify that Justin Baldoni wasn't the villain Blake claimed he was. In fact, her account suggests the exact opposite. She saw a man trying to make a meaningful film while someone else was allegedly vying for total control. This testimony is the smoking gun that could change everything for the jury. Spencer has no agenda and nothing to sell, which makes her words incredibly dangerous for Blake's side.
Who's about to tell a jury precisely what she saw?
I think in film, everybody's always vying for power and control. I think that this is probably the most intense situation I've ever been in.
So,
the court heard that Blake reportedly tried to wrestle control of the film away from Justin from the very beginning. It wasn't just about creative differences, it was a full-scale power play. While Justin was pitching a mission to help young women, insiders claim Blake saw his kindness as a weakness to be exploited. This revelation paints a chilling picture of behind-the-scenes manipulation that contradicts the public image we have of the star. The mask is slipping, and what's underneath is a high-stakes business battle disguised as a personal grievance. If the jury believes she took advantage of a kind director, the case is effectively over.
In my opinion, I find it very hard to believe the allegations against him. And considering his mission statement about the film and him genuinely pitching that he was doing this film to help young women, I just find it hard to believe the allegations.
What I believe Talia Spencer is
If Talia Spencer's words were a spark, Adam Shine's testimony is a total wildfire. This former crew member is addressing the specific medical and costume claims Blake made in her filings. She alleged she was nearly exposed in a hospital gown, but Adam claims the costume included shorts and a torso-covering prosthetic. He isn't just offering a different opinion, he is calling out what he describes as direct falsehoods. When you lie in a legal filing, you aren't just losing credibility, you are potentially committing a wrongful act that can sink your entire case. Adam's account suggests that the traumatic set environment was a fabrication.
Bonded to that kindness.
Maybe Blake smelled his kindness, mistook it for weakness, and tried to take advantage and take power, so.
Talia is said to believe that Blake.
Adam Shine's most damning observation is that this was never about genuine mistreatment. He describes the situation as a highly privileged star inventing a fake story to execute a business strategy. In his view, the language of victimhood was being weaponized to gain a commercial advantage over the production company. If a jury believes that Blake used serious allegations as a corporate tool, the backlash will be permanent. It suggests a level of calculation that goes far beyond typical Hollywood drama and enters the realm of systemic deception. This revelation turns the entire victim narrative on its head and leaves Blake on the defensive.
On to Blake Lively's claims that she was nearly nude, he alleges her costume included a full hospital gown, black shorts, and torso-covering prosthetic to make her appear pregnant in addition to whatever personal garments she chose.
Judge Louis Lehman isn't playing games with the celebrity status of the parties involved. He has already denied Blake's request to keep certain documents sealed, meaning the public is about to see everything. We aren't talking about a few leaked emails. We're talking about the raw, unedited communications behind the scenes. The judge is essentially inviting the world to look under the hood of this production. This transparency is the one thing Blake's team was desperate to avoid, and now the floodgates are wide open for all to see. Every text, every angry email, and every power move is about to become public record in just a few days.
6. I'm not going to speculate as to Miss Lively's motivations for mentioning me in the complaint. Needless to say, my experience working with her is very different than the one she described in her lawsuit.
In a move that signaled the court's growing skepticism, the judge also granted a motion regarding attorney fees for the defendant. This means Blake might be on the hook for Justin's massive legal bills. Usually, a judge only does this when they feel certain claims weren't strongly supported or were perhaps even frivolous. It is a financial slap on the wrist that carries a heavy symbolic weight. It tells the world that the court doesn't just think she is wrong, it thinks the case should have never been brought in this way. The financial stakes are rising, and the judge's patience seems to be wearing thin as the trial approaches.
Mountains of evidence that she has, to me, so far, only shows the lengths that her and Ryan were willing to go to completely destroy Wayfair and take over their movie.
Blake's legal team is reportedly trying a Hail Mary strategy by drawing parallels to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. They are claiming she is the victim of a coordinated digital smear campaign intended to destroy her reputation. It is a bold move to frame herself as the wronged party in the court of public opinion. However, legal experts say this strategy is risky because the facts of this case are vastly different. While Depp convinced a jury he was defamed, Blake is struggling just to keep her main allegations from being dismissed entirely. Trying to mirror a famous trial can backfire if the jury sees it as a desperate distraction.
You thought that was enough drama? Check this out. TV and Movie Addict is reporting that more will be unsealed. The judge said he will unseal.
The tables have turned so hard that Blake is no longer the one on the attack. She is now the defendant in a staggering $400 million counterclaim. Think about that number for a second. This is no longer about who got their way in the editing room. It is a financial war that could bankrupt even the biggest stars. She walked into court as a plaintiff seeking justice, and is walking out as someone fighting to save her fortune. The hunter has become the hunted, and the pressure is mounting as the trial date looms closer. Every ruling that favors Baldoni makes that massive counterclaim look more like an inevitable reality.
Trial could drag on for a month, warned the judge who will preside over the case. Judge Louis Lehman told jurors that the case between the co-stars of the movie It Ends With Us could be in court for 3 to 4 weeks after its May 18th.
Let's talk about the messages that were never supposed to see the light of day. Unsealed documents revealed Ryan Reynolds was deeply involved in the intimidation tactics. He was caught in emails allegedly calling executives things like ineffectual seniors and pushing for total dominance. This wasn't a husband just defending his wife. It looked like a coordinated effort by a Hollywood power couple to steamroll anyone in their way. The nice guy image of the Deadpool star is taking a massive hit as these aggressive tactics are exposed. The documents suggest that the Reynolds Lively machine was willing to destroy anyone to take over the project.
Revealed that potential jurors will be asked if they would have a problem giving Lively $0.
Even the closest friendships aren't immune to this legal radiation. Taylor Swift, who is famously tight with Blake, reportedly distanced herself once she realized she could be dragged into the discovery process. Nobody wants to be subpoenaed for their private texts, not even a global superstar. When your most powerful allies start heading for the exits, you know the ship is taking on water. It is a clear sign that this legal battle has become too toxic for even the most loyal members of the inner circle. The isolation is real, and it's happening at the worst possible time for Blake, as she prepares for the fight of her life.
New filings suggest the actress plans to invoke the widely reported defamation battle between Depp v. Heard as part of her strategy against Justin Baldoni. Blake argues she faced a similar online pylon fueled by reputation.
The drama isn't just in the courtroom. The PR team Blake hired to control the narrative is reportedly eating its own. There are internal lawsuits over stolen documents and finger-pointing about who failed to protect her image. The very people paid to manage the story ended up becoming part of the scandal themselves. When your defense team starts suing each other, your chances of winning the public's heart drop to zero. Every single element of the plan to control the narrative has backfired in spectacular fashion. The chaos behind the scenes is mirroring the chaos in the legal filings, creating a perfect storm of failure for her.
We want the truth to be out there. We want the documents to be out there. We want people to make their determination based on receipt.
While Blake's side was busy firing off legal threats and PR plants, Justin Baldoni did the unthinkable in Hollywood. He stayed absolutely silent for 5 months. He didn't post, he didn't tweet, and he didn't give exclusive interviews to gossip sites. He let the chaos rage around him without adding a single word to the fire. This silence wasn't a sign of defeat. It was a strategic masterclass in dignity. He let his legal team do the talking in court, while he remained a ghost in the media. By the time he finally spoke, the public was already tired of the drama coming from the other side.
Of her 13 claims are not making it to trial. All of the claims that she made about harassment, really, it's just retaliation.
When Justin finally broke his silence, he didn't go for the jugular. He posted a simple photo of himself with his family on Mother's Day. No long captions about the lawsuit, no shade thrown at his co-star, just a tribute to the women in his life. The contrast was jarring. On one side, you had the high-energy chaos of the Lively Reynolds legal machine. On the other, a man focusing on faith and family. It was a PR move that didn't feel like a PR move, and the public absolutely ate it up. It rehumanized him at a time when the other side was trying to paint him as a monster.
Probably.
Okay. So listen. Blake Lively is reportedly panicking over the witness testimonies that Justin Baldoni and his lawyers are planning to present in court. And one of the most crucial people on the list.
The comments on that post were a wake-up call for Blake's team. Fans didn't need a legal brief to tell them who to support. They saw Justin's patience and interpreted it as the ultimate sign of innocence. People were sending prayers and praising his restraint while the other side looked increasingly desperate. This shift in public perception is exactly what Blake's team was trying to prevent with their digital smear campaign claims. Ironically, their own aggressive tactics are what made Justin look like the sympathetic figure in this mess. They tried to bury him, but they only made him more popular. The most crushing part of the judge's ruling was the total dismissal of the harassment and abuse allegations. The court looked at the evidence, the same evidence Spencer and Shine will testify about, and decided it didn't hold water. This was the emotional core of Blake's case, her reason for the entire lawsuit. Without it, she is just left with technical disputes against a corporate entity. The narrative of her being a victim seeking justice has been legally stripped away, leaving her in a very vulnerable position. She is no longer the hero of her own story in the eyes of the court. Because the judge found no merit in those personal claims, Justin Baldoni and other individuals were removed from the lawsuit entirely. They are no longer even parties to her case. This is a massive victory for Justin, as it essentially exonerates him from the most damaging accusations before the trial even starts. He is no longer looking at a personal judgment against his character. He has effectively won the most important battle, leaving Blake to fight the remaining scraps of a dying legal strategy. The judge has made it clear that the personal attacks will not be the focus of the trial. Now that she's on the defensive, Blake is facing a terrifying prospect, cross-examination. She will have to sit in that witness box and answer questions under oath about those unsealed texts and emails. She can't hide behind a PR statement or a curated Instagram post. The defense will grill her on her interactions with the crew and her alleged attempts to seize power. Without the victim narrative to protect her, every word she says will be scrutinized for inconsistencies that could destroy what is left of her case. The courtroom is a place where star power often fades under the light of truth. Talia Spencer's testimony is expected to highlight a version of events where Justin was the one being bullied. She saw a man genuinely trying to make a film that could help people, only to have his vision compromised by someone with more industry clout. This flipped narrative is exactly what a jury needs to hear to understand the power dynamics at play. It suggests that the person claiming to be mistreated was actually the one doing the mistreating. It is a classic case of projection that is finally being called out in a court of law. The testimony will be devastating for Blake's image. Judge Louis Lehman has warned both sides that this trial could drag on for a month. Starting May 18th, the world will get a front row seat to the most intense Hollywood trial since Depp vs. Heard. A 4-week trial means there is a mountain of evidence and a long list of witnesses ready to spill the tea. The judge is even asking potential jurors if they would have a problem giving Blake $0. That question alone should send a shiver down her spine, as it implies the possibility of a total loss. The stage is set for a grueling legal marathon that will expose every secret. This case is becoming a cautionary tale about the business of victimhood in the modern era. When stars use the language of social movements to settle professional scores, it eventually catches up to them. The court is signaling that you can't just claim mistreatment to get a better deal in a contract dispute. Facts still matter, and documents don't lie. Blake's team thought they could win through narrative control, but they forgot that the legal system requires actual proof, not just a well-timed headline. The era of getting away with power plays by using serious allegations is ending. With only days left until the trial begins, the tension is at an all-time high. Every ruling has gone against Blake, every unsealed document has favored Justin, and every witness statement has painted a picture of a power play gone wrong. The Hollywood golden couple is facing a reality check that no amount of star power can fix. The strategy of intimidation has failed, the friends have fled, and the court is ready to hear the truth. This isn't just a trial anymore. It is a reckoning for a style of industry politics that is finally being challenged in a very public and very painful way. Ultimately, this case proves that in the age of transparency, you can't hide behind a persona forever. The rulings favor Baldoni because the evidence supports his consistency, while Blake's narrative has been forced to shift with every new disclosure. Whether she walks away with nothing or faces a massive judgment, the damage to her brand is already done. We are watching the end of an era where celebrity status could override the truth on a film set. The jury has a chance to set a new standard for accountability in Hollywood, and we will be there for every second of the fallout.